Hey, what's up and happy New Year's. I got some more lore content for you guys. I was out of town for a little while visiting family for Christmas, but I'm back with another deck profile. This is my favorite and original iteration of Riven. This deck aims to play on curve with powerful early game units, tempoing into the mid game as best as it can, while reaching for lethals with overwhelm and big damage cards. It's truly a tempo-ish mid-range deck that takes a few games of practice to understand, but is a lot of fun and strong when mastered. I want to run through my card choices, explain why they're in the deck, and give you the knowledge to pilot the deck yourself. The code for the deck will be in the description below, along with the Mobalytics link. Before I get into the deck profile, if you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with my content. The road to 5k has begun, and I need all the help I can get, so it'd be awesome if you joined. I also stream on Twitch often, so check me out over there if you're looking for live gameplay. With that, I hope you enjoy this deck profile. Alright, so getting into the deck profile, the overarching theme that people might recognize right away is that it is very similar to Basilisk Aggro Darrowing that was popular, quite a few months back. So I took out some of the cards that used to be in there and put in the Riven Reforged stuff, and it actually blends really well together and creates this super awesome dynamic of having Riven as like the main center of the deck, but the rest of the deck can still function without her. So getting into the cards, first we have Blade Squire. He's our only 1-drop because he's the only 1-drop that we actually need. A lot of times you want to pass turn 1 so that you have enough mana to do a Riven play on attack 4 or attack 5 even. So it just kind of depends on the turn order and who's going first. But passing turn 1 is pretty good. Playing Blade Squire on turn 1 is also fine, especially if you can get the Reforge off, because you need a certain amount of combo pieces to actually enable Riven in a certain amount of mana. So I'll explain a little bit about that later, but Blade Squire is in here because he's basic Reforge card. Good 1 mana 1/2, can trade against other early game aggressive units and give you a free piece of the sword. Next we have House Spider, 2-drop. Super good. I really like the 2 bodies, being able to block multiple things, being able to create a chump blocker like even in the mid game is pretty valuable, and also because we are running crowd favorite, so House Spider allows us to go wide. If we open multiple House Spiders, we can play it on 2, and then we can play it on 3, and then we can play a huge crowd favorite on 4. Cannot sleep on this card, so he's super good. Very strong in this deck in particular because of the way that we've built it. Next we have Runeweaver. This is another very good Riven based card. She reforges, creates a piece of the sword that you don't have yet, and is a 2 mana 3/1. Gets hit by Vile Feast, which is kind of unfortunate, but can also aggressively trade up into other things. Having that 3 attack early is really nice. It's also a fearsome blocker, if you take that into consideration. So it can deal with Wraiths, it can deal with Elise, and the like. Next we have Weapon Hilt. So this is basically just create a piece of the sword, also give an ally 2/0, which is nice. It's actually really good for 2. This is the only, it's not technically a piece of the weapon because it creates a piece, so therefore you can actually use this outside of combat and inside of combat too. These usually cannot be cast within combat, so you can use Weapon Hilt as like a defensive combat trick to trade up, make your Blade Squire 3 attack and stuff, and super awesome there. I think Weapon Hilt is one of the best cards actually in this deck in particular because of the way that it fuels the rest of the engine. Next we have Triple Culling Strike because super flexible removal, hits a lot of champions, hits a lot of problematic units, super flexible. I love Culling Strike. It's one of the best cards. Even in like mid-range decks, even in aggro decks, you could run Culling Strike to just deal with problematic units that you normally couldn't. So definitely an auto include, one of the best cards in the game. Next we have our champions, Draven and Riven. So yes, I'm not running Darius in this harrowing version, and here is the reason why. Because Draven really tempos on turn 3 attack turn. So if you are attacking on odds, you play like Squire on 1, House Spider on 2, Draven on attack 3, crowd favorite on defense 4, or Riven on defense 4, and then the token comes back to you on attack 5 for Riven to get her extra piece. Like, it just feels so good to be able to play something on attack 3 that's not Riven, because if you play Riven on attack 3, then you go to defense 4 and you don't get a piece until attack 5 anyways, so you kind of like lose a little bit of tempo if you're playing Riven on 3, and it kind of feels bad. So Draven fits this to a T. I absolutely love his inclusion in this deck. He can also create, like, more combat tricks, more weapon pieces, or not weapon pieces, but spinning axes and stuff cannot be slept on. Super, super good. He also threatens a lot of early boards, and just quick attack on 3 is kind of insane. So that's the main reason we have Draven here and not Darius. But you can take him out, maybe put in like Iron Ballista instead, you know. And then you can have Darius, but you have to take out something else too. But I'll talk about the number changes later. And next we have Riven, the champion that this deck is all about and trying to play around. So Riven's a little bit tricky. It takes some math and some practice to get used to her. And I want to give you the best case scenario example. It's not entirely optimal, but it is kind of funny to think about. So if you are attacking on evens, so like you're going second essentially, you pass turn 1, then you play Runeweaver on attack 2. This gives you a piece of the sword. Then you play Riven on defense 3. And then you go into attack 4 with your full 4 mana and the one that you pass from turn 1. If you have the Reforge from Runeweaver and you have a weapon hilt in hand, you will have enough pieces and enough mana to level up Riven on attack 4, which is actually kind of insane. It spends like your entire turn doing so, but you get another sword in your hand, fully completed. You have Riven already leveled, and you're attacking with her at burst speed, so before your opponent can act. That's pretty sick to think about. Usually it's not, you know, like I said a bit ago, it's not super optimal because you should just play like Basilisk on 4 or whatever and then do Riven shenanigans on attack 5 or 6 after you have like a Kato out or whatever. But I've actually done it, and it's pretty useful. It's pretty nice, especially if you have multiple Rivens, because then more and more can come out leveled up. So aside from Riven, the combo machine, we're going to move on to the rest of the deck. We have 3 Sharpened Resolve. Insane combat trick for Noxus, 3 mana +3/+2 are huge stat points. You can use this for lethal, you can use this to protect your units, you can dodge various removal spells like Culling Strike, or you can dodge Grasp and Black Spear and all kinds of stuff, just being able to protect your units with the +2 HP. It's also super efficient with Overwhelm, of course. So Basilisk Rider, we are playing all Noxus stuff. Here we go, 37 Noxus cards and only 3 Harrowings. So he is going to get his allegiance more often than not, super safe and super powerful curving into it. The overall curve in this deck is so nice if you just think about the early game. So like let's say you play Blade Squire on 1, or you can pass turn 1 for this example, doesn't really matter. You play one of your 2 drops, you play one of your 3 drops, you play one of your 4 drops, you play your Kato, then you attack on 6 or 7 depending on when your attack turn is. It's just like, it curves so nice. I absolutely love the feel of tempo midrange decks because it's my preferred play style, and it's like super potent if you can keep the board and just beat over your opponents with this deck. So after Basilisk Rider, we got Crowd Favorite, super good if you're going wide, good Overwhelm unit, of course. And what's cool about him is that he is always a 2-attack unit while he's in your graveyard, so Harrowing will not bring him back. Harrowing will always prioritize your bigger and better units while being able to still play Crowd Favorite, you know, in the deck and on 4 efficiently. So there's some cool little synergy there that doesn't hurt you too much. Next we have 2 Decisive Maneuver. This is usually just like a game ender, so you want to stun an enemy that's in front of one of your Overwhelm units so your Overwhelm punches through directly and give your allies all to attack at fast speed. And it's pretty good, pretty hard to react to, especially if you're attacking like on 5 after a big Basilisk play, after a big Crowd Favorite play, if you have Riven leveled. You know, it's just kind of insane. You can also use it defensively. It comes up every once in a while, but it's more of like an aggressive finisher. Next we have Kato. Kato is super awesome. So when Riven is leveled, it says, when my power is increased for the first time each round, increase it by twice as much. So this is where a little bit of more synergy comes in. Kato will buff Riven +3, and it will actually double the bonus because of her level up condition, or her level up effect I mean, and she will be 6 attack bonus on top of her 4 already, so 10 attack with Overwhelm, and that's without any other buffs. You can give her Sharpened Resolve after that, you can Decisive Maneuver after that, you know, get something out of the way, and it just kind of gets insane. You can hit big numbers once Kato's on the field. After Kato though, and in case the game is going long, we of course pack 2 Pharaons in here, really good game ender, good against like grindy decks, and you can just like pump out a bunch of damage if your opponent's stalling. And then after that we also have Harrowing for control decks, for defensive decks. Harrowing's sick because it brings out the Kados, it brings out the Basilisk Rider, and what's cool about Rider is when he's resummoned from Harrowing, the allegiance will go off. So if the top card is a Noxus card, he will get his +1/+1 and Overwhelm all over again. So you have a bunch of 5/4s, you got a bunch of Kados. Sometimes you can Harrowing back a Pharaon and just create more Decimates because it's on summon and not on play from hand. You get your Rivens back, you get your Dravens back, and it's just kind of a good time. And that's about it for the deck profile. Like I said earlier, it's pretty similar to how Darrowing functioned, but instead of Darius in here, we have other aggressive Overwhelm cards, and we have Pharaon, we have Riven instead, and Draven instead of Darius specifically. So it's really, really fun in that regard. If you feel like Harrowing isn't necessary, something I wanted to try actually is minus the Harrowings, and then that new Targon card that makes it to where opponents can't block. This one, Moonlight Affliction, because you can actually do this at burst speed on, you know, the same time that you would use Decisive Maneuver. So like on attack 5, if you have some mana saved up, you can do like a weapon hilt or just a piece of the weapon into, this is now Nightfall, they can't block this round or whatever. You can like pick 2 units, and it's just like, I don't know, that seems kind of insane. So I encourage players to give this a try as well. But for now, I'm going to keep my Harrowing. You can also do other tech cards and stuff. You can do pretty much whatever you want for these 3 slots. You can even do more Noxus stuff and just have a full-on Noxus deck. It's basically mono Noxus, which is really, really cool. I haven't seen this kind of deck strategy in a long time, so if you're a big Noxus fan, it's definitely up your alley. With that, I definitely encourage players to mess around with the numbers, put in whatever twist you like. It's kind of an open-ended deck, and I don't think it's fully refined yet. This is my original and actually first iteration of the deck. I made this day 1 of the expansion and just haven't gone back. It's my favorite version of Riven. It's the way that I like to play, so super, super sick there. And that about wraps it up for the deck profile. Now here's some live commentary games so you can see how the deck plays out. I'll be giving context on why I'm playing certain cards, and hopefully it gives you a good feel on how to play the deck. Alright, so first we have Braum Vlad, probably using Scargrounds, the landmark. Super fun deck concept. Culling Strike is really good against Braum, so we'll keep that. And we'll also keep Sharpen Resolve maybe? I'm going to pitch Harrowing, maybe it's not too necessary. I think I'm also going to pitch Resolve. We're attacking on odds, so we can actually pitch the Riven, try to find Draven, but I'm going to hold on to her. I'd rather see Draven here for sure though. If not, we can still play on curve. This is kind of nice.
See the world from behind a basilisk.
Do the Squire on 1.
In the War Mother's name.
Not going to attack because then she'll just be a 3/2. House Spider, probably culling on 3. I could have also passed this turn, but I kind of want to build a nice big board.
The Star Maidens will know my name.
You got it. Get in that 0 damage, buddy. I could threaten a pass here, see if he plays Braum. Or I could just play the Riven and not care about the Braum. Because then I could play Culling Strike on 4. Let's do that. We'll play the Riven. Because maybe he doesn't have Braum in hand as well, so this is like the right play. Okay, see? I'll attack with Riven. Worst case scenario is like Troll Chant or something, but it doesn't do a lot for him right now. Nice, I get into 3 damage. So Braum comes down, it's getting Culling Strike right away. And then he's going to be a little bit behind, going into the next few turns. Basilisk or Crowd Favorite? Crowd Favorite has more value with 4 units on board. Right? Or is it the same? 4 plus 6. You'd be at 6/5. Oh, no Braum. Yo, that's kind of crazy. Now I don't actually have to spend the mana. I can just play Basilisk Rider and then play Crowd Favorite next turn. Or it's I think it's Basilisk.
Ride on!
We going really wide this game. He's kind of allowing me to by passing turn 3 by playing a landmark. And no Braum. Yeah, I curved really well, and I think he opened pretty poorly. So we'll take the first Blade Fragment here. We'll get out the big Crowd Favorite. 7/6, 5/4. I can give something else Overwhelm.
I love a man with style.
Okay, give those both tough, that makes sense. We'll attack here, we'll attack here. So this is going to be blocked by 4-2, and I don't know what he's going to do about my crowd favorite. I don't really need to attack with anything else. I can just hold. I'm not going for lethal yet anyways. Maybe next turn I'll go for lethal.
What's up?
With a decisive maneuver play.
Don't let my size fool you.
Okay. So is he going to use transfusion here then? Transfusion still... Oh, okay, Nocturne Fervor. That's gonna pump in more overwhelm damage though. I got good damage in. So he's at 11 there. Also need to factor in being able to combo Riven. I can with Reforge. Oh nice. Another Calling Strike.
Flee now!
Yeah, that's getting striked. I think I just won off of this. Next attack I just kinda win, yeah.
Grievers, avenge me!
Let's Reforge.
Words of power linger in the air.
Boom, boom, boom. Easy clap. We'll do... We have 8 mana, so we have enough to do... Oh, no, we have 9. Okay, sick. We're going to do
Fly
Overwhelm,
to them on broken wings.
Quick Attack, 2-0.
There is surrender and there is life. I will live.
One of the coolest level up animations in the entire game. Do that.
Desjardins.
Attack with everything. This threatens lethal, so he has to block. And then I can decisive maneuver. That'll buff her by 4. Because it'll be the first time she's being buffed. Right?
Let's get a good look.
Maybe
at
it doesn't apply since she's already been buffed to level, but we'll see.
Come here, darling.
What you got? Deal 1 to everything. Wow, that's pretty annoying. I still have lethal though. So it does get double buffed, so she does go up by 4. So he has to have another thing like this to clear my 2 HP. Nope, doesn't have. Big swing, big swing. Bop, bop. Got him.
At last, a way forward.
Oh, here we have the Zoe deck, huh? Zoe Vi. Seems interesting. We're attacking on odds again. Going to pitch everything but keep Runeweaver. Because I'm okay with passing on turn 1 here. So that I can do a Riven play maybe on 4 or 5. Just having the extra mana for the blade pieces is super relevant. What's sick though is we got Draven on attack 3 actually. Lots of swords too. I think House Spider has more value here than the Runeweaver. Because we can play Runeweaver on 4, right? So we'll do Spider. I think it deters this play a little bit better. Nice. I get to keep a unit on board. Runeweaver would have just died. So I get a little Spiderling. So we'll do Draven on attack 3, of course. If he plays Zoe, we have Calling Strike for her. Nice, okay. He just passes. I think this guy drew pretty bad too. But that's one of the key parts about this deck, is that it is super consistent. Like 9 out of 10 times I get good openers.
Deadly Paths,
Huh?
just another day in Targon.
That is a very strange card, my friend. He can use Pale Cascade to dodge Calling Strike, so it's probably not worth my mana to use, especially since Pale Cascade will get good draw value, and he's still going to attack this turn. I have 5 mana to work with though, so I could play my Runeweaver now on 4 like I planned to do earlier.
These hands know metal and magic.
Get a sword piece, see what else he does.
Show courage.
Attacking. I kind of want to call in because I don't really have anything to do with the extra mana. Forcing Pale Cascade's fine, let's do it. If he has it, he has it, it's whatever. Okay, he doesn't have it. That is good for me then. Crowd favorite. I could do Blade Squire into crowd favorite. Just go big this turn. That sounds better than open attacking.
To serve the greater good.
I'll give him a chance to play some stuff. I don't really mind since I'm getting a 4 buff favorite. Yeah, that's fine.
I stand for Noxus!
I gotta work with this joker?
From blood, glory!
If he blocks Draven, I'm going to double Spinning Axe. He needs to have a buff card. Alright, that's fine. So we're going to Spinning Axe the Blade Piece.
Now we're cooking.
Now we are cooking. Then we're going to Spinning Axe the House Spider since I don't really need them anymore. This will also level Draven, which is kind of sick. So instead of Riven, we're playing around Draven this game, which is something that opens up when you take out Darius and put Draven in. What's my name? Get the sick level animation here.
What's my name?
Draven! Cool, now we should win on next open attack. And if something really weird happens here, like let's say I wasn't fighting this specific deck, if he had like big AoE removal or something this turn, I could just bank the mana and then play Harrowing. And feel pretty happy about that. But what I'm going to do is Decisive Maneuver into Decisive Maneuver again. Right? Or do I not care about my spider? Do I not care about my spider? Yeah, I can not care about my spider. Because then, like, I can open attack next turn with double Decisive Maneuver. Who cares about my spider, bro? Because I'll have exactly 10 mana. Bop.
If I fall, so be it.
This automatically threatens lethal, so he has to block. That allows me to play cards after. That's fine. That's fine. You're still looking very dead right now. That's still fine.
Come on.
You did. Now that's a lot of damage. I still have another combat trick and I have another Decisive Maneuver. He has 3 mana to work with, so yikes. 1 Riven game, 1 Draven game. Let's go.
Damn, I'm good.
True. Alright, and for the last game we got Riven and Taric. That's the more popular version of Riven that I've seen, utilizing Targon cards, which makes a lot of sense. I kind of want to keep Pharaoh in case this gets grindy. I don't need both Squire and Weaver, so I'm also attacking on evens. I have like the perfect scenario for Riven. Maybe I just play around the Riven attack 4. Sounds sick. Double Sharpen Resolve. Alright, we got it. We got full combo. I don't know how good it's going to be, but we got it. Rune Weaver. Then we play Riven on defense 3, then we use all 5 mana to level Riven on attack 4. Alright, he is full past 2 turns, so he is loaded on mana. Oh, we also got the Kato follow up on 5. Wow. We actually have like perfect case scenario. Out of the way! Oh shit! Alright, that's crazy. Alright, Riven it is.
What's a warrior but hands to wield a weapon?
The heart and mind to aim its strike.
Alright, so I'm going to split the damage between these two so that neither of them can get Culling Strike in case he has. So we're going to do the Reforge here. Then we're going to give Riven the Overwhelm, the Quick Attack, the damage, everything. Here we go.
Make these pieces whole.
World's first. Riven on attack 4. You seen it here first. If I wasn't playing around Culling Strike, then I could like also just super buff the Riven, but I think this is really, really good play. 11 damage on attack 4. Puts him at 6 right away. Then I do Kato on 5. Yeah, nice Taric, bro. And then on attack 6, I have double Sharpen Resolve. Like, my version is so much faster than his.
The world awaits.
Again, though, he's running out of the way for some reason, so
What time is it?
I'm just going to ignore his board. Let him hit me with whatever he wants. I am not blocking. You want to keep your quick attack? That's fine. You want to keep your tough? That's fine. Because I'm open attacking for big damage next turn. And I have no idea how he's going to stop it.
They will reclaim.
That's
what
also
is
fine.
ours. I welcome the end of this chase.
Like, she's going to be 10 damage with Overwhelm because of Kato.
Remember why we fight.
No spell's been cast yet. Okay, there it is. The blade.
Never
Big
submit.
damage, big damage. Wow, 13. That's just as good as my attack. Nice. A little bit of extra. Alright, I see you.
Punch it! Ha-ha! I give you muscles!
Alright. Let's see how you plan to stop this. God, it's just a lot of damage.
Fade and be gone.
That's not enough.
Approach, savage.
Nope.
Defend the empire.
Alright, now you live with 1. And you lose everything. That's without any spells coming out. So... Transfusion, makes sense. What's he trying to do? Just live with more? Okay, so that's exactly lethal now. He probably has like a Pale Cascade or something in here. Or another health boosting combat trick. He has to, right? He has to force my second Sharpen Resolve.
To preserve beauty and protect all life.
Sure, that also levels Tarek. That's another HP. So now he has to have Guiding Touch, because another Pale doesn't do it. Has to be Guiding Touch. Nope, got him, let's go! 16 attack Riven. Huge hit. Winning on attack 6, that's really fast. No burn required. And that's it for this one. This is one of my favorite decks to play and I hope you guys try it out as well. Please like and subscribe if you thought this video was informative or entertaining. It really helps me out since I'm still trying to grow. I'll be releasing more deck profiles, guides, and gameplay highlights in the near future. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters.